The word for this video is takes. As a noun, takes means the or an act of taking. As a noun, takes means something that is taken, a haul. As a noun, takes means an interpretation or view, opinion or assessment, perspective. For example, what's your take on this issue, Fred? As a noun, takes means an approach, a distinct treatment. For example, a new take on a traditional dish. As a noun, takes means a scene recorded, filmed, at one time, without an interruption or break. A recording of such a scene. For example, Act 7, Scene 3, Take 2. As a noun, takes means a recording of a musical performance made during an uninterrupted single recording period. As a noun, takes means a visible, facial response to something, especially something unexpected, a facial gesture in response to an event. For example, I did a take when I saw the new car in the driveway. As a noun, takes means an instance of successful inoculation, vaccination. As a noun, takes means a catch of the ball, in cricket, especially won by the wicket keeper. As a noun, takes means the quantity of copy given to a compositor at one time. As a verb, takes means to get into one's hands, possession or control, with or without force. For example, I'll take that plate off the table. As a verb, takes means to receive or accept something, especially something given or bestowed, awarded, etc. For example, the camera takes 35 mm film. As a verb, takes means to remove. For example, take 2 eggs from the carton. As a verb, takes means to have sex with. As a verb, takes means to defeat someone or something in a fight. For example, don't try to take that guy. He's bigger than you. As a verb, takes means to grasp or grip. For example, he took her hand in his. As a verb, takes means to select or choose, to pick. For example, I'll take the blue plates. As a verb, takes means to adopt, select, as one's own. For example, she took his side in every argument. As a verb, takes means to carry or lead something or someone. For example, I'll take the plate with me. As a verb, takes means to use as a means of transportation. For example, he took the bus to London and then took a train to Manchester. As a verb, takes means to visit, to include in a course of travel. As a verb, takes means to obtain for use by payment or lease. For example, he took a full-page ad in the Times. As a verb, takes means to consume. As a verb, takes means to experience, undergo, or endure. As a verb, takes means to cause to change to a specified state or condition. For example, he had to take it apart to fix it. As a verb, takes means to regard in a specified way. For example, he took the news badly. As a verb, takes means to conclude or form a decision or an opinion in the mind. For example, took a dim view of city officials. As a verb, takes means to understand, especially in a specified way. For example, don't take my comments as an insult. As a verb, takes means to accept or be given, rightly or wrongly, assume, especially as if by right. For example, he took all the credit for the project, although he had done almost none of the work. As a verb, takes means to believe, to accept the statements of. For example, take her word for it. As a verb, takes means to assume or suppose, to reckon, to regard or consider. For example, Do you take me for a fool? As a verb, takes means to draw, derive, or deduce a meaning from something. For example, I'm not sure what moral to take from that story. As a verb, takes means to derive, as a title, to obtain from a source. For example, As I Lay Dying takes its title from Book 11 of Homer's Odyssey. As a verb, takes means to catch or contract an illness, etc. For example, took a chill. As a verb, takes means to come upon or catch in a particular state or situation. As a verb, takes means to captivate or charm, to gain or secure the interest or affection of. For example, took her attention. As a verb, takes means of a material, to absorb or be impregnated by, dye, ink, etc., to be susceptible to being treated by, polish, etc. For example, cloth that takes dye well. As a verb, takes means of a ship, to let in water. As a verb, takes means to require. For example, finishing this on schedule will take a lot of overtime. As a verb, takes means to proceed to fill. For example, he took a seat in the front row. As a verb, takes means to fill, to use up time or space. For example, his collection takes a lot of space. As a verb, takes means to avail oneself of. For example, he took that opportunity to leave France. As a verb, takes means to practice, perform, execute, carry out, do. For example, Perez ran in to take the kick. As a verb, takes means to assume or perform a form or role. As a verb, takes means to bind oneself by. For example, he took the oath of office last night. As a verb, takes means to move into. For example, the next team took the field. As a verb, takes means to go into, through, or along. For example, go down 2 blocks and take the next left. As a verb, takes means to have in use once recourse to. For example, take cover, shelter, refuge. As a verb, takes means to ascertain or determine by measurement, examination or inquiry. For example, take a census. As a verb, takes means to write down, to get in, or as if in writing. For example, he took a mental inventory of his supplies. As a verb, takes means to make a photograph, film, or other reproduction of something. For example, could you take a picture of us? As a verb, takes means to take a picture, photograph, etc. of a person, scene, etc. For example, the photographer will take you sitting down. As a verb, takes means to obtain money from, especially by swindling. For example, took me for 10 grand. As a verb, takes means now chiefly by enrolling in a class or course, to apply oneself to the study of. For example, as a child, she took ballet. As a verb, takes means to deal with. For example, take matters as they arise. As a verb, takes means to consider in a particular way, or to consider as an example. For example, I've had a lot of problems recently. Take last Monday. For example, my car broke down on the way to work. Then, etc. As a verb, takes means to decline to swing at a pitched ball, to refrain from hitting at, and allow to pass. For example, he'll probably take this one. As a verb, takes means to accept as an input to a relation. As a verb, takes means to get or accept something into one's possession. For example, my husband and I have a dysfunctional marriage. He just takes and takes. He never gives. As a verb, takes means to engage, take hold or have effect. As a verb, takes means to become, to be affected in a specified way. For example, she took sick with the flu. As a verb, takes means possibly obsolete, to be able to be accurately or beautifully photographed. As a verb, takes means an intensifier. As a verb, takes means to deliver, bring, give something to someone. As a verb, takes means obsolete outside dialectal and slang. To give or deliver a blow to someone, to strike or hit. For example, he took me a blow on the head. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more word videos.